Huawei has been known for offering stellar camera performance, and the Mate 20 Pro is its latest flagship phone. But how much of an improvement is it over its P20 Pro from earlier this year? Let's start with a close-up. The main difference here is in sharpness. The P20 Pro has a softer image, whereas the Mate 20 Pro is sharper and gets more detail on the leaves. Color differences between the two are minute, but the Mate 20 Pro is more color accurate. What the P20 Pro has though is a background blur that stands out more. In this next one, we really see how the P20 Pro saturates colors. The greens on the leaves are way more natural looking on the Mate 20 Pro, and it also captures more detail if you look towards the wooden plank on the left. With both phones' AI capability turned on, the P20 Pro produces a very heavily modified image, which is far from reality. But here's where the Mate 20 Pro shines, with its AI not too overly aggressive, yet enough to make a meaningful change to the image. On the Mate 20 Pro, you also now get a wide-angle lens which offers 0.6x zoom. Here's a picture sample of a scenic shot from it where we see it capture more detail, but there's a slightly fisheye lens-like view. Switching to the default views now, it seems like the Mate 20 Pro is able to capture more detail. There's also a noticeable change in color tones from both the phones, but neither is accurate to the scene. Overly blue on the P20 Pro, whereas it's swaying more towards the green side on the Mate 20 Pro. With AI, the effect from the P20 Pro is too pronounced and a lot of the background detail gets blown out in comparison to the much more subtle change on the Mate 20 Pro. Zooming in 2x, the detail from both pictures is great. Due to how each phone handles colors, the white balance from the P20 Pro is better than the Mate 20 Pro, which offers a darker looking image. At 10x zoom too, both phones are neck and neck, but the Mate 20 Pro has some noise to the image, which the P20 Pro doesn't have. This might be due to the pre-release software the Mate 20 Pro is running, which will see an update on launch day. As for portraits, I prefer the Mate 20 Pro. It presents a sharper image over the softer look of the P20 Pro. I like how the colors on the Mate 20 Pro look, and in particular, neither phone has too much trouble with edge detection. For front-facing images, the Mate 20 Pro offers better dynamic range. On the P20 Pro, the details in the background seem to be blown out and the overall sharpness of the photo is a bit less. With front portrait, the skin tone colors on the P20 Pro really take a hit. My skin is way off compared to the Mate 20 Pro, and neither phone is too good at retaining the background, but I'd still prefer the Mate 20 Pro in this case. As for edge detection, both phones seem to have trouble towards the left, near my ear on the Mate 20 Pro, whereas on my shoulder on the P20 Pro. Now let's move indoors where we see a picture of a plant. Both phones do a good job in this case, but with AI turned on, we see how exaggerated the P20 Pro colors are compared to the Mate 20 Pros. But at night, things start to get a bit interesting. In this picture of the bike, I prefer how the P20 Pro image looks. The photo seems less muddy and sharper, and this could be due to the monochrome lens on the P20 Pro, which the Mate 20 Pro does not have. Of course, with night mode, both images show more detail, but the colors from the P20 Pro are more true to life. And while using the wide-angle lens with night mode, the quality does take a bit of a hit, but it is there if you certainly have to use it. Here's another night example where both the photos are comparable, but with night mode enabled, once again I prefer how the P20 Pro looks. This could be due to the lack of a monochrome lens on the Mate 20 Pro as mentioned before, or an AI software stabilization issue, which should be nailed on release, as this is again pre-release software on the Mate 20 Pro. However, in certain scenarios, the Mate 20 Pro camera is the better one, like in this case. The detail in the surrounding area is better handled, and with night mode as well, detail in the background is well retained. Using the wide-angle lens here with night mode enabled made for a stunning image compared to the P20 Pros. Switching over to the front, we also see some major improvements from the Mate 20 Pro. I prefer the photo over the P20 Pro's photo, which seems to struggle with the background light, and with portrait mode enabled, I like how the P20 Pro has my skin tones captured, but the overall better picture is from the Mate 20 Pro. Last but not least, there's video. 1080p footage seems about the same on both, maybe slightly sharper on the Mate 20 Pro. Of course, you can use the wide-angle lens to capture footage too, in this case for a wider view. As for 4K video, both phones capture similar looking footage, but the stabilization on the Mate 20 Pro is far better than the P20 Pro's shaky looking footage. And finally, let's judge the front-facing video quality from both these phones. You can judge how the colors from both the phones look, the stabilization, as well as how both of these phones capture audio in terms of whether these could become a vlogging camera or not. So that's all for this one. Let us know which phone you prefer down in the comments below and why. Check out our other videos if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.